That's right, guys. Welcome back to Dave's Dimension, and welcome back again to, well, we're calling it Tuesday Night Live. Let me just fix this real quick. Once again, this is Dave of Dave's Dimension. You know the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme, and where, well, chaos and insanity in your home for toys, tech, and talk. Now, guys, you're going to be seeing some changes over the next 2 weeks. We're going to be changing the format a little bit. I'm going to try and make Tuesday nights the regular live stream night for Dave's Dimension. And also, yes, I did say and also, we're going to be doing, I kind of want to change the format of just, instead of me just rambling on, because we all know you guys love to hear me ramble on, said nobody ever. Well, we're going to start to have guests pop on. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at possibly changing the live stream format, at least on Tuesday nights, to possibly be more of a talk show format. Maybe we'll talk about a few things, a few latest and greatest things to pop up in our life. Not just toy collecting, not just movies, not just TV shows, although we have a lot of that to talk about this week. I want to get other content creators in, and I'm not just talking about toy community. I want to try and get creators, people who maybe they have their own Etsy shop, people who maybe, to make a few ends meet, they're doing a second job as maybe a 3D printer, making props and costumes and cosplay. And that's another thing. I want to get cosplayers on here. I want to get different perspectives because there's a few channels, not just on YouTube, but on Twitter, that a couple years ago I ran into them. That would be PJ of the Orville and also a friend of the channel, Maria Tea Time and Telly. I came across them and they were all about the brands, or should I say the hashtag we grow together. And I kind of want to build upon that. Now, there's a lot of people in the community. Dre, the collector's safe space, of course, my brother from another mother, and the co-creator and founder of the Outer Dimensions podcast, which is still going to continue, guys. Just stay tuned. You'll hear more about that coming on future episodes. But there's a lot of people who support each other. And I think that's the best of our community. Like I said, Dre, Zombie Hunter, who if you don't know him, he's popping in the chat saying hey to me. He is an amazing collector. And let's just throw up his thumbnail right there. You see that R2? He 3D printed a 1-to-1 scale R2. The man is a master. He is a master. I would hate to see him and Millennium Workshop collab together because I think the world might end. Those guys are some insane creators. But of course, another person who's a major supporter of the community himself, 1000th Ghost. This man supports every charity and every initiative out there, and he's always about just hanging out and having a great time. Plus, let's face it, if you ever been on one of his streams or a stream where he's there, Chris is just a wealth of toy knowledge, and his house is like a friggin' toy museum / warehouse. He has just about anything and everything you guys could possibly think of. So there's so many people out there in the collective. Sleeping Collectibles, Colbane Games. Colbane, I know I've known Colbane for what, going on 3 years now, maybe. There's so many people. We could spend an hour and a half or even 3 hours just naming people. But I want to change the format up a little bit, especially shout out to Hey Archer. Hey Archer, Ramblin' Nerd, Sal, the real Nerd Busters themselves, Nerd Affiliated. They are some amazing creators. I would love to get each of them on separately on the channel. I kind of want to do not just like, oh, what was your first toy, or what was your first collection. I don't want to necessarily get into that. I want to get into the people. I want to, like say, hey, what's your, when you're a kid, what was your fondest memory? Not necessarily toy collecting, but like, hey, was there a cartoon or comic book that just you gravitated towards, that you felt like, hey, this is me, and hey, were you someone that, did you have every toy, or were you someone, who knows, like me, I had to use my imagination for a lot of stuff. You know, for me, my Transformers were Legos that I took apart and put back together again. You know, I didn't have a Millennium Falcon. I made one out of Legos, which was, trust me, it looked nothing like the Millennium Falcon unless it was the outline of the shape. So, I want to get people on here and kind of deep dive into who they are. You know, like how, you know, what drives you, not just as a collector, but maybe as a family person. What are you looking to do in life? You know, you're here right now. Where do you want to be? You know, I kind of want to get more into the meat and potatoes, if you will. And no offense to any vegans out there. I just I want to do something a little bit different, and you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see how that morphs. No pun intended, or is it? So there's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be some changes. We'll see if those changes stick. You know, I might try a few things, and it may not work, but hopefully you guys will come along for the ride. Look at my brother saying hello to everybody. Of course, Zombie Hunter saying hello to everyone. And the most, I mean, this guy, speaking of creators, this guy is, I'm sorry, but like when it comes to dioramas, he, to me, in my book, he's hands down numero uno. He's the chief. He's the head of the table when it comes to dioramas. I mean, this guy, like, what was it? Not this past year, year before, he helped me raise some money for uh for Toys for Tots that went directly towards the Buffalo Ghostbusters in our annual Toys for Tots drive. He made this amazing kind of like an back alley diorama. It was beautiful. Chef's kiss. It was amazing. This guy makes amazing stuff. And he even made me a firehouse, the front facade of the Hook and Ladder 8 firehouse. And he makes everything from scratch, from, you know, his bare hands. This guy is an amazing creator. I mean, just, you know, it's just stuff. It's Stuff Man's diorama. I mean, he just makes some amazing stuff, and he's a massive collector himself, guys. But that's kind of what I'm looking to do in the future. Is I kind of want to have people come on, and you don't have to be a YouTuber. Actually, I went on my Facebook and my Instagram today. My personal Facebook. I don't have a Dave's Dimension Facebook. I have my name, David Farrell. You know, I don't have to hide my name. I put that on my personal Facebook. I'm like, hey, friends. In fact, let me just pull it up and I'll read it off to you guys. Because I'm just that guy. I literally said, okay, I'm reaching out to all my friends who have a YouTube channel, Twitch, podcast, or if you're looking to promote a small business aimed at collectibles, cosplay, or props, looking for guests to come on for a series I'm doing in a live stream format for interviews. Hashtag We Grow Together, looking to help creators grow through cross exposure. DM me or email me at davesdimension78gmail.com. So literally, I posted that on both on Instagram and the Facebooks. Because, you know, hey, there's going to be tons of people out there who might be doing a side hustle. Like, hey, maybe they're doing 3D printed guns, or maybe they're doing props for action figures. You know, maybe they're doing display stands, but they're putting their own little spin on it that nobody else is doing. So I kind of want to throw that invite out to everybody. Now, speaking of invites, I also did another post today talking about this. You see at the bottom of the screen, you guys hear me talk about it all the time, and I'm sorry if it gets annoying. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute. Every year, you guys know that I do the Stream for the Cure. Well, this year, we got, you know, usually in the past, I've gotten people donating from Jump back in January. In February, we actually didn't get our first actual donation for Stream for the Cure until today. And we got two of them. And big thanks out to those two people. I'm not going to see who they are, but these guys, they are always there whenever there's a charity, whenever there's a cause that needs championing, that needs, you know, that needs support. They're always there. So I want to thank them both, and I thank them both personally. off camera, of course. But we have a few people who are entered into the Stream for the Cure. It was getting to the point where if we didn't get an entry by the end of April, Stream for the Cure might not have happened. That was a real thing we were facing. I spoke to Dre, the Collector Safe Space, about this before. That if we don't get any entries by a certain time, the stream would not happen because, well, we have to have people enter to give the prizes away. And honestly, I mean, it's not necessarily about the prizes. I wanted to help Roswell Park every chance I possibly can. Those that know me, you might have heard me talk about this in the past or in passing. My mother had a form of skin cancer. It wasn't fatal, but it changed her persona. It changed how she was. She didn't like having photos taken because of, well, how the cancer represented. It represented as extra growth on her face, and it mentally, psychologically, affected her to the point where when she passed, we didn't have a whole lot of photos of her. My father, when he passed, he had cancer and he hid it from us. You know, Cancer is something that it affects everybody. Okay. Some people, if you're lucky, you won't have a family member or a loved one who is affected by it. Fortunately, or I should say, unfortunately, sometimes a lot of times that's not always the case. It's a family member, it's a brother, a sister, a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, a best friend's girlfriend, a mother, an aunt, and uncle. It hits us all. Okay. It hits us all. And that's why I do the Stream for the Cure. And I do the Stream for the Cure because of Ride for Roswell. Every year, Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute does an annual bike riding event called the Ride for Roswell. Okay. It is a tremendous event. I'm proud to be a part of it. And I wouldn't be a part of it if it wasn't for my wife, Mrs. Dimension. She was my girlfriend at the time. She was riding in the Ride for Roswell. And me, I was mechanically inclined. So I was like, hey, well, you know what? I used to work on bikes. How about this? I will make sure and she had a team through her job at the time. So I was kind of like the unofficial mechanic, making sure everybody's bikes and everything were tuned the day of, or if they had an issue that morning. I was Johnny on the spot with all my tools to make sure their bikes were running. Well, she's no longer with that company, and at the time we got married, and we were living in Grand Island. So I said, you know what I'm going to sign up this year. I signed up that first year, and it was also during COVID. So we did a social distance bike ride on Grand Island, which was cool so we didn't have far to go. I signed up for the 10-mile ride, but I pushed myself to do the 20-mile ride. Okay. I did that, and because I just felt like I can push myself more. And honestly, what's a bike ride? What's pushing yourself another 10, 20 miles for a bike ride when people are losing their lives? People are going through life changing surgeries and operations. They're going through life changing events where their future isn't necessarily guaranteed. Nobody's is, let's be honest. So that's why I do that. My wife, throughout the year, she gets changed from people at her bowling alley. All the other teams she bowls against, she'll ask around. She carries this Ride for Roswell piggy bank, and she'll ask for spare change. And they drop that change. Or if we're walking in a parking lot, we see a penny or a nickel or dime on the ground. She calls that her pennies from heaven. And since we've been together, she's been raising at least between $2,000 to $2,500 a year, just gathering loose change or having friends or family who drop a 5, a 10, a 20, whatever. They drop it and they donate it in her Ride for Roswell. And I figured, hey, I started a YouTube channel. Maybe if I do a stream, maybe I'll give up an entire Saturday. I'll do like the first year. I said, you know what? I'm going to do an 8-hour stream. We wound up going like 10 and a half hours. So, it wound up being, so, I mean, Roswell, it makes a world of difference, especially, I mean, My father had cancer. My mom had a form of skin cancer where she would have to go through laser treatments every couple of years. But this year, I have a family member. Not I have a secondary family member who I've known since I was, well, since ever. And I think of this person like a sister to me. So this person, I don't like giving names because I don't, I like to respect their privacy. Okay. I don't want people looking them up, trying to see who they are. She's going through stage 4 cancer right now. And Roswell is doing everything they can to help her battle it. You know, usually when you get diagnosed, you're like stage 2 or something, right? Maybe stage 1 or stage 2 if you're lucky. She's stage 4 and she's fighting it. And so this year it does feel a little bit personal, but I'm pushing forward and I'm gonna do what I do every year. I'm gonna raise as much as I possibly can for Roswell Park. Because you never know. It could be you, it could be your family, it could be your best friend, it could be your best friend's wife, significant other, their parents. It can hit you at any time. And let's just go through the chat a little bit here. It is important, and the charity is something near and dear to you and myself, Dre says. He lost his mother, his aunt, and his cousin to cancer. So, yeah, it can hit anybody. Zombie says cancer affects everybody in some way or another, physically, mentally, socially. But one of the greatest things is at the Ride for Roswell, at the start of every race, they go over the numbers, not just the numbers of how much they've raised, but they go over the numbers of how many people have gone through Roswell Park, how many people are now in remission. Okay. They don't just go over numbers, but they ask everybody in the crowd, everyone who is riding, to raise their hand if they're in remission or are they completely out of remission. And you'd be amazed how many people throw their hands up in the air. You would think maybe 4 or 5, but usually it's like 25, 30. I mean, it's mind blowing that you look around and you're surrounded by people who, because of your fundraising, because of fundraising from people like you and yourself, you've made a difference in their lives. They're still here and they're battling. And not only that, but they're giving back by donating and raising money themselves. So it is tremendously powerful. Honestly, I don't want to say, because I'm not a very religious person, to be perfectly honest. I was raised Roman Catholic, but it's not a part of who I am anymore. I made that decision a long time ago. That's why I say it's powerful. Some people might say it's spiritual. It may be spiritual depending on your point of view, but me personally, it's my word is powerful. It's powerful. It is moving. It shows you that anything and everything is possible, guys. If you put your mind to it, it's amazing what you can achieve. Okay. Gilster says, going to have a colonoscopy early May. Then I said it. I said it. Good, man. A lot of us, I know these streams in our communities mostly, let's be honest, mostly male, mostly are men. There's plenty of ladies out there, and praise them. But you know what? Men, a lot of us are men in our 30s and 40s. I'm at the age where I have to go get one too. I'm 45. That's when it's time to make that appointment and get checked out. You have to, because what if you keep putting it off and off and off, and who knows, maybe it's something you could have caught in time and could have got it treated. So don't play with your lives, guys. Do not play with your lives. A little bit of discomfort just to make sure the boys and everything are working fine, guys. So it's a real thing. Gilster saying hey to everybody. Hey, Gilster. Dre praying for you. Thank you, Zombie, he says. We got 1000 Ghosts himself. Zombie says all the best to you, Dre. Dre is an amazing person, and I say that, I say he's my brother. He really is. I mean, we text all the time. We check up on each other, and we ask about each other's families all the time. He's literally family. He's a dozen states away, but he's family just like a lot of you guys are. I mean, Ghost is always there. Zombie Hunter, Gilster. I mean, Mega Demon. All you guys are always there. Always there for me. Aaron Colbin Games. And by the way, speaking of which, I'm sure all you guys are subscribed to Aaron of Colbin Games. But please do me a favor. Go to his YouTube channel and share the link to his YouTube channel on all your social media, your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagrams, everywhere. Please share Aaron's channel. He's on the road to 1,500. He's getting very close. Let's get him to 1,500. He promises if we get him to 1,500, he's going to do a live stream dressed up as a Teletubby. I am not making this up. Aaron Colbane Games, KBG, he swears that he is going to do a live stream as a Teletubby, dressed in a Teletubby outfit, if he gets to 1,500. So let's get him to that. So please do me that favor and share the hell out of his channel. Yep, talks to me every day, multiple times a day. Greedo the Speedo, because he's so big. A little bit of Taz right there. Everyone saying hello to Greedo. We mentioned him. We mentioned the Archer, and he has arisen. El Presidente of Nerd Affiliated himself, the heart and soul of the real Nerd Busters. Hey, Archer. Thank you for popping through the chat. Everyone's saying hello to Nerd. Greedo, how are you doing, man? I haven't heard much from you. I hope everything's going well. So yeah, we're going to be changing format. We kind of want to do maybe kind of a talk show format coming soon. Greedo, basically Greedo, Gilster, Zombie Hunter, Archer. I'm putting this out there to everybody. I'm sure some of you who know me on Facebook or Instagram have already seen my post. I'm doing an open invite for anyone and everyone. We're going to be doing a guest each week. We're going to try and do a guest in the next few weeks. So we're going to do kind of a interview type thing, but we're still going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to be making some promos, some intros, and try and get as creative as possible. So we're going to have a little bit of fun. But how about let's talk about a few things that happened this week. I'm going to glaze over a few things because we know entertainment news is Archer's his bread and butter. So I'm not really going to touch on Archer stuff because we know he is the movie master, the maestro. Okay, we know he is the maestro when it comes to movies, and X-Men 97 is hot. I'm sorry, but I'm loving it. I've heard some people criticize it, and not for nothing, the creator or the guy, the showrunner, he got into some trouble, but it is what it is. Archer covered it out. If you want more information on that, why don't you go check out his latest stream, which he had yesterday. He had Nerdy Coffee every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And of course, Thursday nights. Last Thursday, he talked about, X-Men 97. He talked about the Red Ranger, Austin St. John, which I will keep my opinions to myself. Personally, I think he's a douchebag. Not taken away from the character. The character of Jason was great. Jason Lee Scott. However, Austin St. John, just Austin St. Jackass. That's all I gotta say about that. Gilster says no X-Men 97, no spoilers. Waiting for all episodes to be finished to binge. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it is straight fire, man. It is straight fire. I mean, if you're an X-Men fan, if you're a fan of the original series, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. Not all the voices are back. However, I got a nice little surprise here. For those in the Buffalo, New York area, we have some of the original 97 voices coming to Nickel City Con this June, and I'm psyched for that. The actual Rogue, the woman who voiced Rogue originally and is voicing her again in X-Men 97, is coming to Buffalo, New York. So is Beast, and fingers crossed we get Wolverine too, because I'm telling you, bub, I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. Archer's like, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself, Gilster. Just jump on it. Come on, just jump on it. It makes you feel better. And plus, I mean, it's kind of cool. It almost takes you back to being a teenager, because I was a senior in 1997. I was a senior in high school in spring of 1997. This takes me back, okay? Because every Saturday morning, you'd wait every week for that new episode. And we're kind of doing that again. But the great thing is, with streaming services, we don't have to rewind the videotape. We can just click and start watching it all over again. And don't forget, Disney Plus also has the X-Men animated series, the original 97 run. So if you look, if you need that fix, if you're going to be like Gilster, you need that fix of X-Men without watching the new stuff because you want to binge it like in a weekend or half a day, then hey, rewatch X-Men, the original X-Men cartoon. It's on Disney Plus. So is Spider-Man the animated series, which there's rumblings that Spider-Man animated series is going to be making a comeback. I don't know how I feel about that, because the original Spider-Man animated series kind of left us off on a cliffhanger, but a satisfying cliffhanger. Peter Parker, Spidey faced off against his greatest foes, and with a whole army of multiverse versions of himself, including Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, one of my favorite Spideys. And it had him and Madam Web, not the horrible movie that Sony came out this past year, which I haven't seen yet. I don't know if I can bring myself to see it. Great idea. It is. I'm just saying. It had the old Adam Webb that we know, and it was supposed to be her and Spider-Man going off into the multiverse to find the real Mary Jane. And that's where they left it. And I thought that was a satisfying ending. I really did. I thought it was a satisfying ending. And especially within that, they also had, before that happens, Peter Parker, our comic book true Spidey, went and visited a world where Spider-Man was just a comic book character, and he got to meet animated Stan Lee, and they went web slinging. And that's, to me, that I always thought that was amazing and awesome. But I don't know how they would do it or how satisfying it would be, because to me, that was kind of a satisfying ending, that Peter and Madam Web were going on a multiversal mission to find the real MJ, and he was finally going to get his happy ever after, so to speak. So it would be kind of weird. It would be kind of hard to see how would they continue it. They already in that series, they already had a multiversal war where Spider-Man, at one point, Spider-Man got to team up with the Fantastic Four, Captain America, some of the X-Men, and he was proving himself to be a leader. And then he has his army of Spider-Men. So I mean, I don't know. It would be, to me, I think it would be more like jumping the shark. At least that's how I feel. And by the way, I'm sorry, guys, I forgot to put the invite link in case anybody wants to hippity hop on here. There you go. I'm going to throw the link in the chat right there. And of course, guys, if you want to donate to the Ride for Roswell, the link is in the video description below. So if you want to be a part of the Stream for the Cure, all you have to do, oh, there we go. All you have to do is go to that link in the video description below. It takes you right to Ride for Roswell's website. You're going to donate $10. $10 gets you one entry on all the wheels. We have 7 wheels right now. We have a couple NECA boxes. We have a special mystery B box. Those who know who that is. We also have our brother Dre is working on a Mythic Legions box with a little bit of an extra surprise. So stay tuned for that. All these boxes, the minimum retail value that they go for is a minimum of $50. And some of them are going to go close to 100 or more. So, I mean, I mean, one, you're helping out an amazing cause, and two, you're going to be getting some amazing prizes. Right now, we just have a handful of people, and of course, the more people you get in there, one, that's better for the ride for Roswell, and two, it's more fun. Because if I have a wheel that only has five names on it, well, that wheel's going to end pretty quickly, right? So we have 7 wheels planned. I have a Ghostbusters box that I have procured that I will be giving something pretty awesome away, or awesomes, plural. So we have some NECA boxes. I believe Captain Spaulding, the Cap Attack himself, is going to be doing a box. Dre is procuring the Mythic Legions. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. So I guess you could say this stream is brought to you by Stream for the Cure. Coming to you this May 18th, Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern until 8 p.m. Eastern, unless we keep going longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. So we have that going on. Gilster, getting back to drawing more, so I'll be here listening and joining in on the fun. Awesome. Awesomeness, man. Now, a couple of things. Now, I came across Big Bad Toy Store today, and I saw something that I thought was completely redunculous. And once again, if anyone wants to hop into the chat, you have the link there in the chat right there. Just click on the StreamYard link, and it will bring you into the dimension itself. But first, let's go to Big Bad Toy Store. I have some head scratching to do, guys. I really do. It's not the good kind of head scratching. It is the what in the world are you guys even thinking of? Now, here we go. Big Bad Toy Store. As you guys can see, right? Now, here's my boy, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ben Riley, Spidey. I always loved how Scarlet Spider was like the solid red suit. He had like the Batman style utility belt, right? But then he was rocking the hoodie. I just thought he looked badass, especially like his little utility ankle pockets and just his extra cartridges for his webbing. I always thought he was badass. At some point, I will be picking him up. However, what is going on here? Did we travel back? Is it like 2020 or 2021? Or hell, even 2019? We have Transformers War for Cybertron, Earthrise, Optimus Prime. Why? Okay, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm asking why. Okay, this figure, I picked up this figure at Ollie's like 2 or 3 years ago for like 10 or 12 bucks. So are you telling me Hasbro is reissuing him? And not only that, but you're doing a pre-order for $55.99. Why, oh why? I mean, I literally have him on the shelf right now. I could go over and grab him. You're charging 56 bucks for something I got at Ollie's like 12 bucks, like 2 or 3 years ago. This is the same exact figure. It's just a reissue. That is the exact figure. There's nothing special or different here. I mean, he's got the same blaster, same shield. There's his trailer. Everything is the original. It still has all the ports and everything like it did before. I always thought this was stupid. Hey, Carlos. Carlos popping in the chat. Hello, my young friend. Again, this is the same thing. He had the Matrix inside. This is the same figure. So what in the world are they doing? And here's another thing. Why do you have the blaster here when you have plenty of ports inside the trailer for the cannon to go? I don't know. It's just a thing. But I don't get this. Why? Oh, they're calling it Takara Tommy Hasbro. I know a lot of times they will just read. This is the same box, by the way, guys. This is the same packaging. There's nothing new here. It's the same figure. It is the same damn figure here. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy the figure, but you're going to bring back something from 3 or 4 years ago, and you're going to charge us 56 bucks. I don't get that. Dre says Takara Tomy is the OG Japanese company. Yeah, but we're not getting anything different here. We're not getting like it's not like it's a resculpt. It's not like we're replacing the gray plastic with silver or giving it like a proper silver finish here. They're not doing none of that. You know, this is just a reissue, and that just makes me scratch my head. Like, why? Why? Oh, why? I just don't get that. Let me know if you guys get that at all. Carlos says, "What's happening?" Hasbro is the distro. Yeah, I know Hasbro's the distributor. Welcome to the chat. We have the Lack Attack himself, Lack Sivrak. Hope you're doing well, and belated congratulations to you and Mrs. Sivrak. Hope you're both doing well. Lack is saying hi to everybody, saying hi to Zombie. Dre saying hi to Lack. Gilster, everyone saying hi to everybody else. I just don't get this. I'm trying to rationalize this unless Hasbro's like, hey, we really need to move our stock. We really need to sell some stuff. We need to clear our inventory. We need to make up some capital. Hey, Takara, let us just resell this and throw your name, just slap your name on the box and we'll do a reissue. And that's what's going to happen. Lex says, thanks, Dave. We are great. Appreciate that, Dave. No worries, man. I did watch the live stream. Very cool. Ladies, that's right. The Lack is off the market. How much likes did you get? Well, I'm actually not looking at my YouTube stream right now. And plus, we are streaming this on two channels, the Outer Dimensions podcast and Dave's Dimension. But let's go ahead and take a quick look, see how many likes we're at. And by the way, speaking of likes, if you guys are enjoying the content and you're enjoying the live stream, throw some likes up in the air and wave it like you just don't care. Let's just take a quick look here. Okay, looks like we're at 9 likes. I appreciate that. Now we're at 10 likes. Thank you guys. So yeah, I just don't get that. Let's take a look at some other stuff. Now, is this something you'd be interested in? The fighting armor Sam Wilson cap. I guess the concept of the armored figures aren't bad, aren't too bad. Like if Stark made a whole army. I forgot to like, but just corrected that. I appreciate that, Archer. It's okay. I mean, I like this. Now, some people are like, they're not crazy about the whole armored collection. I actually like it because, like, hey, what if the Avengers were taken out and Stark built, robotic backups, or hey, they're off world. I like how his wings look. I think this is a pretty cool look. We got more of a cybernetic suit, or what if Sam needed an armored suit just like Stark? Am I there for $99? I'm gonna wait for a while because these are 6.5-inch figures after all. Carlos says, "What is your favorite? What are your favorite movies? Is it Ghostbusters?" Honestly, I love Ghostbusters, but I also love Back to the Future. Those are probably two of my top favorites of all time. I have a lot of favorite movies because I'm one of those movie nerds. Both Dre and I are big movie nerds. You can go ahead and check out our past podcasts and episodes on the Outer Dimensions podcast. So please check it out. Lax saying hi to everybody. It's the tech on from the comic series. See, Dre is the big comic fiend in our little group. And he knows everything when it comes to the comics, just about. Stark designed all the armors. Okay, so I was pretty close. Definitely cool looking armor. Love the shine of it. It's almost carbonized looking. Yeah, definitely that. Hi, my name is Andrew Tate. How are y'all? Oh, we're doing fine, Andrew. I hope you're having a great time. This is, well, if you're new, obviously you're new to the channel. since you introduced yourself. I'm Dave of Dave's Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme in your home for tech, toys, and talk. We just started doing live streams on Tuesday nights where it's going to be kind of a talk show format. We talk about the latest and greatest news going on in toys, entertainment, and just hang out. And I'm going to be featuring a guest each week. This week, it's just me rambling on with everybody in the chat. And again, if anyone in the chat wants to pop on the stream, you have to be 18 years or older. But you have a link in the chat to go ahead and join me here. Let's see here. Don't give them ideas because people can't be deleted in Marvel movies anymore. Wilson will just fight robots of himself. Yeah, hey, why not? Apparently, comicbook.com released a story that Robert Downey Jr. says he will not rule out ever returning. He will not rule out returning as Stark. He says Tony Stark is every bit a part of his DNA, basically. Honestly, I've talked with other people, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there will agree. If we bring back Stark, that's just gonna undo his great sacrifice. Now, if it's something where there's a AI that is assisting his daughter when she's old enough to fly her own armor, I could see that. I would even love that if her AI was him. I could really appreciate that. But don't like fully bring him back, like Infinity Stone, snap him back and bring him back. No, you can't. You can't bring him back. That's just That's just how I feel. Let's see. Gilly and I have the same favorite director. There you go. The suit looks great, but I don't like Falcon as Cap. There was nothing wrong with the Falcon. I liked his character as the Falcon. You know what? I can appreciate that. I can even agree with that, but I do like that Sam has taken on the mantle of Captain America because one, he has no powers. He has no super serum, he has no super strength. He's just a man. And I think that embodies Captain America because there was this recent meme I saw. Or no, it was like a video or something where, you know, we have we have we have Steve Rogers, and every time he introduced himself as Steve Rogers. He didn't say I'm Captain America, but oh, lo and behold, Mr. John Walker takes over the mantle of Captain America. He's introducing himself as Captain America. That's the big difference. The big difference is Captain America is a symbol, and it's about embracing it. So I mean, I think Sam embraces it. Now, will there be some wokeness to him when in his movie? There's a lot of speculation about that, especially since they had to do a bunch of reshoots. But we'll find out when the movie comes out. But going back to this figure, I think this figure looks pretty awesome. I mean, we get a great looking shield there, him without his wings. I think he looks really good, and I think he's going to be amazingly posable. So I'm I think this is really cool. If this figure goes on sale, I'll definitely consider scooping him up. But for 99 for a 6.5-inch figure, I can't bring myself to it. I know Dre is shaking his head at me because he is an SH Figure Arts fiend. Oh, there you go. We got Cyclops giving the same treatment right there. Got like kind of a Cyrax vibe going on for Mortal Kombat, but I'm digging it. Looks pretty awesome. Looks pretty awesome. That looks awesome right there. I mean, come on. What else do we got going on? We got we got armored Deadpool. As if Deadpool needs armor, let's be honest. Just skimming through some Matrix is trying to get me. Yeah, Archer mentioned in his latest stream about the new sequel being made for the Matrix. Question is, does the Matrix really need a sequel? And yes, the fourth Matrix, I'm still going through therapy because I saw that movie. It was terrible. It was terrible. We got some armored Black Panther. I think these armored figures are actually pretty cool. I like War Machine there. You know, we could look at these all day. We got there you go. Magneto. Okay. Yeah, I can dig that right there. That Magneto looks badass. Come on. Who are you kidding? That looks badass right there. Let's take a look at some other stuff going on in the world of Big Bad Toy Store. Last week, I was ranting about Hasbro, so we're gonna take a look at some of the offerings at Big Bad Toy Store. Zombie saying hey to Rex. Rex is in the house. Rex in effects, aka the Rump Shaker, aka the master creator. I actually spoke. I was talking about you earlier, Rex. I was saying it would be insane if you and Zombie Hunter were creating stuff together because I mean his 1-to-1 skill R2 is just killer, just killer. And of course, we all know your helmets, man, are just friggin' just beyond. Lax says, awesome, Gilly. Glad to hear it. Draw on, young man. Everyone's saying, what's up to Zombie? Welcome to the live stream, Carlos says. Still behind the chat here. Woo. Not much, just chilling. Don't let the Matrix come after you, Andrew says. Well, you just have to be careful which pill you take. Do you like the Ecto 1A? Yes, I do like the Ecto 1A. However, I would not want to drive it around town. It is so, I mean, you got to think the Ecto 1A is so top heavy with all the gear that they had. I mean, even if you watch Ghostbusters 2, you can see how barely making those sharp turns. It's it's a bit top heavy. I enjoy the regular Ecto 1, man. The Ecto 1's always going to be one of my favorites. The top of his head should be blue with the star. Holy cow, Cyclops does look cool. I'm saying, man, those armored ones, you can't see. What I do is a lot of times if I'm looking for stuff, I will look at about 6 or 7 different websites, try and see who might have a deal on it. I know, Big Bad Toy Store does these daily deals Monday through Friday where they'll swap out items. There's some amazing stuff. I missed out on some amazing things that I'm waiting to see if they come back with some more stuff. I definitely love the naughty or nice BBTS Santas. I have 2 of them and a third on pre-order. Awesome. Hey, Mama Riz threw up a flag. R2 is a loser. The real hero of Star Wars is the Kong droids. We all know Chris 1000 Ghost has a soft spot for the Gonks. Him and Left Coast Graphics as well. Speak of the vampiress herself, Maria Tea Time and Telly. I mentioned you earlier. Coming through the chat. Appreciate you coming through. So this, like I was telling everyone earlier, this is just kind of the hangout stream. In the next couple weeks, I'm going to be actually pushing forward an actual format where I will be featuring a guest and we'll be talking about that guest and their content, whether that be a YouTube channel, something that they're doing on Twitch, Instagram, or maybe they're trying to do some platform on X or Kick or whatever they're doing. Or hey, maybe if they even have their own Etsy store that they're using for cosplay props and whatnot. If they have a small business they wanna that's geared towards either action figure collecting, cosplay, or 3D printing props, I'm welcoming the door for anyone and everyone within those realms to come on and to kind of have a hangout and interview session. And we'll talk about some of the latest and greatest stuff that's going on that week in the world and see where it goes. We all know I love to talk, so I mean, what better than maybe a talk show format? The true hero of Star Wars was Lex Sivrak. Y'all know that. Carlos says, I like the Ecto 1A because of all the lights on the top. Yeah, but imagine the power it would take to run that, though. Gilster says, it wouldn't hurt to re-release Ghostbusters Plasma Series First Wave and pack set with more streams. Just oh yeah, I mean, you get no argument for me. Those who've been watching my channel the past month or two, I took it upon myself. One of my teammates from Buffalo Ghostbusters, Dan Lyberg, he came up with some kit bashing, and we made our own plasma figures for Frozen Empire. We made a whole set. We made 5 figures, and we kit bashed the Afterlife figures with Marvel Legend figures. Yeah, that's right. We have Winston in the business suit. We have Venkman in his orange suit. We have Slimed Trevor. We have Paul Rudd, Gary Gruberson in Ghostbusters uniform. They even have a little name tag on him that says Gruberson. So we went through and made a whole wave. And it said, Hasbro, doesn't want to do anything like that. They want to focus on board games and other stuff. You guys have heard me rant on it last week, so I'm not going to talk about that. You did? Yes, I did. You guys can go ahead and check out those pictures on my Instagram at Dave's_dimension on Instagram, of course. Everyone's saying hello to everybody else. Zed with only figure, yeah, with a stream. Yeah, I mean that's another thing. I'm actually going to be getting into 3D printing myself soon. My Bamboo Labs P1P will be arriving. Well, I'm hoping within the next week. I already have the AMS, which will allow me to do multicolor printing at once without having to swap anything out. So I'm looking forward to doing some crazy stuff. It's going to be nice. It has auto leveling, so I don't have to worry about that. Just catch up here. I'm ready for 2 in a box video updates. Yeah, we're those that don't know, Hasbro did a sequel to the Ghostbusters Proton Pack HasLab called 2 in a Box, which is a ghost trap and a PKE meter, but the ghost trap is a fully functional, like, I'm not saying fully functional like it can catch ghosts. It has lights and sounds. There's customizing features on there. The inner cartridge itself comes out of the frame, just like when you're putting the trap in the containment units. And it's about time that we had an update, but who knows? They might just push the update until June. Archer, that's probably pretty much a safe bet. With June 8th being such a big thing in New York City this year at Hook and Ladder 8. By the way, those that don't know, every year, the weekend around June 8th, for the past 3 years, now this is going to be the 4th year, the Buffalo Ghostbusters have organized a fan gathering every year at the firehouse. It's a free event. Anyone and their grandmother can walk up there, just hang out and have a great time celebrating Ghostbusters, meeting other Ghostbuster fans. And we even get a few surprises. Last year we had one of the original performing artists from the Ghostbusters 1 soundtrack, the Alessi brothers, performing their song that was featured in the movie Saving the Day. These guys, they don't miss a beat. They were amazing. We also had a lot of just Joe Cirillo, who was the cop in the containment unit scene in Ghostbusters 1. We had a lot of amazing surprises, a lot of twists and turns. We had replica Ectos there. It's always a great time. So if you guys are going to be in New York City this June 8th, come on down to Hook and Ladder 8 in Tribeca. It's going to be a great time, guys. But yeah, my fear is they're going to hold off until June 8th. That's what I'm thinking. And the thing that says Ghostbusters were back. The LED board on the Ecto 1A is what Carlos is referring to. Creatality is bringing out the K2 Plus. It's a multi-color printer. Has a similar AMS on top. Okay. Archer says frustrating. What's frustrating is June 8th will roll around and we'll have no new merch, no Frozen Empire toys, HasLab releases, or those 3 1/4 figures those figures and vehicles will go on sale, but not be in hand. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of businesses are going to that model where, hey, we have a picture on our website. Here, you can buy it. Well, what that's one of the things why a lot of us toy collectors like going on toy hunts, like going into the stores, because hey, we could pick up a package, we used to be able to pick up a package with a window or a cutout, and we could see the quality of paint on the figure. We could see if the figure looks cool enough to get for that price point. And that's just not the case anymore. Either we get these fully covered and, it's like the action figure is in a coffin, like it's entombed. It's just how things are. And, we don't get to see them anymore. So it is frustrating. And yeah, like what Archer's referring to, I'm going to see if I can pull that up real quick. We'll stop sharing. We'll pull up Hasbro very quickly so I could explain what he's referring to. And then we'll get back to our regular schedule program. Come on. Rookie mistakes here, don't you know? Oh, yeah. He's a righteous dude. If you know what movie that's from, you get 10 points. Okay, so yeah, here we go. We're going to go to Ghostbusters, which apparently we have to go to brands. Then we have to go to other brands because they don't care about Ghostbusters anymore. Okay, so here we got Fright Features. They're not even featuring the other ones. Oh, that is trash. So let me just do a quick Google search. O-Ring Ghostbusters. So this is basically what Archer is talking about. They are releasing, they're re-releasing this Ecto is basically the same Ecto that we had for Afterlife, which I happen to have right in front of me right here. So this is the same size Ecto. However, you're not going to have the side door that opens. You're only going to be able to fit 2 of these figures in the front seats, and the other 2 won't be able to fit in there because there's a gurney that goes into the Ecto, which holds the proton packs. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great that we have a gurney that goes into it to carry the proton packs. And then we get these 4 figures, which they're kind of built in the old G.I. Joe style with the 3 3/4 O-rings. So there you go. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not psyched about it. I'm really not. But yeah, I mean, again, like you heard me say, Hasbro's focusing on gaming, and all you have to do is go to their website to see. We got GI Joe, we got Transformers, we got Star Wars, we got Marvel. Oh, we have Nerf guns. You can say that that's gaming because it's dart guns. I don't know why they have Power Rangers here still. Indiana Jones, I don't know why that's there still. They're pretty much giving up on those lines. Dungeons and Dragons again is pretty much gaming. You have Avalon Hill, which is gaming. Then we have Hasbro Gaming. We have Monopoly, and then we have Shop All Hasbro Gaming. I mean, I'm not hating on gaming. It's just that Hasbro doesn't feel like it's a toy company anymore. I've given up on Black Series. I've given up on a lot of stuff right now. So it's it is what it is, and that's what it is, guys. I do like seeing this though. Hasbro, Mattel, this is what you guys need to do. We're getting this stuff from third parties. Look at all these different guns here with the ammo clips. This is kind of like what G.I. Joe gives us right here, except we have bullets, right? We have bullets here. We have blood splatter. We have extra pegs for the gun blasts. I mean, this looks awesome. Come on here. For your G.I. Joes, your Marvels, all your figures out there. I mean, this looks like the gun that RoboCop used to take out ED-209. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we want. We want the weapons. We want all these accessories. you know, I mean, yeah, for $55, but you know what? Considering the price of action figures, I think this is a pretty good assortment for all these weapons and accessories. I mean, come on. Yeah, we got the the grenades for the grenade launcher right there. I mean, come on. I mean, not for nothing. That's going to be a home run right there. Is it worth $60? Arguments could be made, but take a look at all the guns and everything that you're getting there. That's where the argument is. I mean, you're getting all this. Arguments can be made to justify it, considering we've never had a grenade launcher with the grenades you can put in there. So it gives you a lot of posability, a lot of action. Everyone's saying hello to Maria. Let me just catch up here. Okay. Archer says, I want the Ramen A Team van, but it's another pre order. LOL. Everything is pre order. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like pre order, you're waiting about at least half a year, if not a little bit longer, for the pre orders. And that just makes me feel all kinds of weird. Shout out to Hasbro on the 84 one and Power Rangers Legacy Morpher being back in stock release day, but outside of that, everything is pre order. Is it? Are we talking the Master Morpher or are you talking about something else? Because if the Master Morpher is back, then I'll go in and I'll do a pre order right now. Because I missed out on the Master Morpher. Sad but true. Okay, shop all Power Rangers. Let's go here. 3 zeros. Maybe that was something they sold out of already. Yeah, I don't see it here. It's a shame, but is what it is. Back in stock. I can't justify $220 for it. I get that it's the Tomy masterpiece. I just can't justify that. I just can't. For those who are GI Joe fans, if the Vamp does go back in stock, I would highly recommend getting it. I have one on my display and I love it. It's tremendous. Is this $50? That's a pass for me. Gilster said Fargo, but no, Maria got it. I was doing Ferris Bueller's Day Off because she said she references Ferris Bueller. Oh, he's a righteous dude. Do you like Afterlife Ecto? Should I get this 84? See, that's the thing. With the Plasma Series figures, they gave us the Afterlife Ecto, and they said that this was a Plasma Series Ecto when the Plasma Series figures couldn't fit in the Ecto. That's my problem. And my thing is, I think they're going to have to retool the Ecto in order to make a 3 3/4 inch figure fit in there. They're going to have to move the steering column up a little bit. But again, you only fit 2 figures in there. You can't fit the other 2 figures in there. Had they made it so that you could fit the other 2 figures in there and have the gurney with the 4 proton packs, I would say yes, get it by all means. But until they show us more, and if they can't give us that, I'm like, it's going to be a hard sell. I might wait for a sale or some kind of promotion or something. Geez, Margie. Everyone's saying hi, Maria. Oh, the weapons pack is $60 on Big Bag Toy Store. It's probably 20 on Amazon. I'm sure Amazon has a version of it. It might not have the same exact one, but it's definitely worth a look. I know a lot of times they'll carry different third-party guys will carry different things. I have a 6-inch shotgun, short barrel revolver for custom. Had to find a good one that's not all just one color. Yeah. Maria saying hello to Gilster. Love the muzzle blast effects. Yeah, definitely. He said, yeah, the Master Morpher. No, it was in stock the day they announced it. Yeah, I missed it because at the time I had some financial issues, and I was like, I just couldn't pull the trigger, logistically speaking. So I completely missed out on it. That's on me. I was going through some stuff at the time financially where I just couldn't, I couldn't justify, because also at the time, um, the shipping was a little crazy at the time. Unless you're a plasma or rather a premium pulse member, which I wasn't at the time, so I completely missed out on it. Uh, but I have a Lightning Collection Morpher. I am considering modifying that into a Master Morpher, though. So that is something I am considering doing in the future. She says it's because she loves that line. Mezco is making the best guns for 6-inch, in my opinion. Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them are. Um, let's just hop out of this. G Project. Let's see what else G Project does. Oh, that's the only thing they do. So it's probably a company, probably a group of guys who are like, hey, let's make this, and that's what they're doing. There's sale items right now. Let's go back to the main page. There are daily deals right now. So they have Hoth Luke for $13. We have Rey Skywalker's lightsaber for $172. We got Palpy from Return of the Jedi for $16. Avengers 60th Anniversary Marvel Legends Thor versus the Destroyer 2-pack. I mean, for Marvel Legends, $40 isn't bad for a 2-pack, but I'm not budging on it. We got Dengar for 11. We got the Skrull 2-pack for 35. We got Han Solo Hoth for $8. That's not bad. If you're a Black Series fan, you're looking for a nice 6-inch Hoth, I'd say go ahead and pick him up. I am no longer into Black Series. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Star Wars, but Black Series, its lack of accessories and the overall pricing, it's just a hard no for me. It really is. Here we go. We got the Obi-Wan Force Effects lightsaber. I think it looks great. Am I going to buy it? No, I'm not. I'll tell you two reasons why I'm not going to buy it. One, $200 is still high in my book. I get that this is all metal. You have the force effects, but I'm afraid that the effects. I've known people who've gotten the force effects lightsabers, but there are electronics issues, things that broke or fall apart. So there is that. Plus, honestly, how often are you really going to be taking that out and using it? So my plan is, once I get my 3D printer and everything's calibrated, I do plan on building me a few lightsabers for display purposes. I want to try and paint them and get them looking to the point where I love it. Because I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect for me. Just have it on display, you know. And who knows? I might even make a custom one. Maybe mash up a few different parts. It doesn't have to light up, because how often am I going to carry it around? Although I do have a wedding to go to on May the 4th, believe it or not. But other than that, we get the 60th anniversary Super Adaptoid. This is a hard pass all day long. I'm sorry. And then you get the hyper real Luke Skywalker. I actually have him. His outfit it's all rubber, but you get, and the Luke is kind of weird looking up close. Not bad from a distance, because I actually have him and I have Luke's and I have Darth Vader up on my shelves here. Um, he is posable. The pegs can be a little annoying, but you get all these different hands, and we get the two different heads here, and we get the one saber. I actually got him and Vader at Ollie's. I think they're like 15 or $12 a piece. Got him like 2 years ago. I thought it was an amazing deal at the time. Palps. Guy I know joined or printed a Valgus hilt, and it looks amazing. See, my thing is I haven't actually 3D printed anything yet. The only thing I've 3D printed is a TARDIS key from Doctor Who. So once I am 3D printing stuff, it's gonna take me time to learn how to properly sand, and then different types of paint. I'm probably gonna look at getting myself a proper airbrushing kit. I have a rechargeable airbrushing kit, but I want to actually learn how to do the stuffs because I really want to get into prop making. One thing I do plan on doing is building a couple proton packs, some custom ones for cosplay. So we'll see what happens with all that. But yeah, sometimes Big Bad Toy Store can come in with some pretty cool stuff. Pod Racing Palpa saying, "Hey Gilster." We got Beardy in the chat. Again, if anyone wants to pop in for a little bit and discuss anything or even promote their own channels, you know what I say? So be it. So I'll drop the link in the chat again. There you go. Beardy says 3D printing has been nothing but a pain for me. I had a 3D printer. I just could never get the bed leveled properly. That was my problem. And hopefully that problem is now solved because I got my Bamboo, which does I will be getting my Bamboo printer, which is going to solve a lot of my problems because it does auto leveling. So there's a lot of that going on. So I'm going to be looking forward to doing that. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be a cakewalk, I'm sure. But it's something I'm really looking forward to. Because me and my wife, when we go to a Comic-Con, we try to do some cosplays. We've done other than Ghostbusters, because obviously that's my bread and butters. We've done Doctor Who. I've dressed as the 11th Doctor. She's dressed up as Clara. She's also dressed up as a Ravager from Guardians of the Galaxy. So, yep. Beardy says Bamboo is the new It printer. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I'm getting it is not because of all the rumors and all the hype. My wife's coworker has a Bamboo printer, and that's why I'm getting it. He printed these fully colored mini puffs for her. They looked amazing. Of course, he has the AMS. I got the AMS this past week. I got to buy some filaments, but I should be getting it by probably this time next week. So I'm excited for that. A couple years ago, I sold my first proton pack, which was the Back to the Future Flux pack. I plan on rebuilding that bigger and better. So that I'm kind of psyched for. It's going to be a long arduous process. I'm going to have to learn how to, get everything to fuse together. I've seen some videos on it, so there's going to be a lot of learning. And one, it's going to be lighter weight for one, obviously. It's a lot better than spending $270 on the Spirit Halloween pack just because I want the shell. So looking forward to it. Speaking of, hey, we got the Cobweb Collector himself. Lax says we got the tools, we got the knowledge. Yes, we do. And if I started off back in 2018 with a Spirit Halloween pack, imagine what I can do now with all the craziness I know. Are you done with modding your current pack? Archer. Hold on. Okay, come here, come closer. What did I tell you? If you're a Ghostbuster, you are never done modding your pack. Okay. Yeah, that's true. If you're a Ghostbuster, especially if you're a regular Ghostbuster cosplayer, there's always going to be someone's going to come up with a new mod, a new modification. They're going to come up with something that someone's going to come up with. Oh, hey, I just came up with this, and you're like, wow, that's actually pretty damn awesome. Like A lot of people are using magnets to connect their wand to the back of their proton pack. Of course, with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, we have the yellow bumper, which I have on my HasLab. Um, I replaced the side panel that goes on the side of the little door that opens up on the HasLab uh, by the power cell. I replaced that with the red striped one, the Hazard one. Um, there's the curved ion arm, which I'm looking at doing. I might even 3D print it myself. I'll spend the money on the STL files and probably print it myself. But that's the thing. There's always going to be something. Like if you're a Spider-Man cosplayer, if you're a Power Ranger cosplayer, you like when it comes to Power Rangers, you have your morpher, you have your weapons. But now, well, what'd be cool if I had a nice display stand, and you get yourself the basic display stand, right? And then you see someone in Etsy who has like a special customized one that shows off the power coin or has the colors and some different accents to it. You're like, wow, that's awesome. And then you see someone else who's doing something like, damn, I need to do that. That's the hook of a collector. That's the hook of a cosplayer. And let's be honest, if you're a cosplayer, you always have to keep updating your uniforms. I don't have I have my first uniform still. It's a heavy gray uniform. But there's other uniforms. Like I've gone through probably 5 or 6 uniforms in the past 5 or 6 years. There's always going to be something to mod. There's always going to be something to improve. Whether you're a Star Wars cosplayer, Marvel comic cosplayer. I mean, if you cosplay Lemmy from Motorhead, I know Archer was posting this on his Instagram today. See, the thing is, I'll say this: Archer posed a question about he would love it if the new Lemmy that they came out with was an accessory set, and I completely see where he's coming at, because I mean this is basically the same body just with like a different outfit. You still get the same hands with the same. He's got the cigarettes, he's got the rings. You're just getting a bottle jack, some possibly different heads, the mic stand, and the guitar. They've done and the thing is they've done accessory sets. Back to the Future, I still haven't unboxed my Back to the Future accessory set for my NECA figures. But that's the thing. I mean, if you have the first Lemmy, and I think don't get me wrong, this one looks great, but the first Lemmy I think is a masterpiece. And we know Archer unboxed this. I almost typed in masterpiece, believe it or not. NECA Lemmy. Okay, so I think this was. See if I can find it here. Because I want to say there was one with like some amps or something on there, or was it Super 7? I'm blanking. The road goes far forever, and the party never ends. Exactly. Duff says, I've been sick as all day, buddy. Just another infection and got antibiotics today. Feel better, man. Duff Man says diabetes is fun. I've been there. Yeah, Archer says, yeah, I'm disappointed with that. Both Lemmy and Cliff got a wave 2 that were lame repaints. Yeah, I mean, I can argue that with Back to the Future. They've done Marty a couple times, and for the most part, they're just different outfits. It's not necessarily brand new sculpts. It's repaint city, and that's the thing. They just do repaints, just make accessory packs. Exactly. No, unfortunately, not an open wound. Just hoping I caught it before it gets that far. Yeah, I had diabetes. I'm technically classified as resolved, but I have this venous something or other where I have bad circulation, bad skin on my left leg, and it will, like, if I scrape my skin, it will easily bleed. And I'm not trying to be gross. It's just a fact of life. I had a bad wound that wouldn't completely heal properly for a long, long time. We're probably talking almost 2 years. That was something that I won't go into details, but it was not fun. It wasn't painful. It was just very frustrating. So I hope you get better, Duff man. You know, thoughts are always with you, man. Yeah, if you ever need anything, we're always here for you. But yeah, I mean that's the thing with don't get me wrong, I think it is a great likeness, but the fact that we've already had one, um, like Archer said, it's Repaint City, where the cash is green and you know, the boxes are pretty. Duffman says, I'm on blood thinners right now. Know what you mean. Yep. I mean it's crazy. I wasn't even on thinners at the time. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you missed out on the first one, get this one. But do I think 55 for this? 55, I think it's a no. It's a no for me. I'm not collecting rock stars. I mean, when Archer unboxed his Lemmy, I thought it was friggin' amazing. I thought it was just beyond. I mean, there you go. I mean, he looks great right there. I mean, if you're a rock fan of the 80s, I mean, you know who Motorhead is. Lemmy is just, and Lemmy's God. It's a thing, guys. It is a thing. There you go. Yeah, I mean the poses are great. The fact that they can do these poses, I mean, it's tremendous. But also with NECA, you kind of have to heat up the arms a little bit when you first get them. You're always afraid that they're going to crack and break, and that's a thing. That's the crappy part. These antibiotics will mess with my blood thinners. Have to call them tomorrow. Jeez. I hope things get better for you, Duff man. Duff is literally one of the best guys around in the community. I'm not just saying that. He's amazing. He really is. Smirky Bear, a friend of mine, is diabetic and had a gaping wound on his toe, and he didn't feel like was going septic. It was in his third week of intensive antibiotics and hospital checks. Yeah, I had something similar, where it was a clear fluid coming out of my leg. Um, so I had bandages. I would put a bandage because you know it was like the mid of my leg, mid of my shin, and it wouldn't stop. It took me. Now, here's the craziest thing: I had it for about a year and a half, and you know what took care of it? I was on antibiotics. They tried treating different things. They say, oh well, because it's clear, you're okay. It's not septic because it hasn't turned color. Da, 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 da. And eventually, it took like when we moved to our home 7 years ago. It took me, basically kneeling forward and slipping and slightly cutting like a broken DVD case cut across my leg, like a thin, almost paper line, like a deep paper cut, kind of not deep, but enough to like a straight line going across, and it went across where I had the wound. Well, that blood caused it to actually seal up. Crazy as it sounds, it sealed it up, and I no longer had that draining. You know, it. I know it sounds gross, it sounds crazy, but it properly scabbed and it healed up. As crazy as it sounds, so I mean, I don't know if I'm. Obviously you're going through something a little bit different, but when you're diabetic and you're on all these meds and blood pressure and all these different, I was on like 7 different meds at one point. You know, it can really mess with your body, especially if you're on other medication. Yeah, not everyone hardcore collects, so repaints are good for casuals and the completionists who can't help themselves. Exactly. Archer says, sorry, you're sick, Duff. Lax's Duff is the best diorama builder I know. I was saying it earlier. Duff been good to me. Sorry to hear you're going through it. Yeah, Duff is the best, man. I said this before. He built a diorama for Toys for Tots, and it was just amazing. He shipped it to me because he wanted me to take pictures and videos of it so we could show it off for the stream. We raised a bunch of money, and honestly, that year it was kind of a tough year for Toys for Tots. But because of you, Duffman, you made such a big difference, such an impact. And my teammates with the Buffalo Ghostbusters were blown away, by what we partnered up and did. And it wouldn't have been that amazing if it wasn't for your creativity, your craftsmanship. And I know you put your heart and soul into these. So and that's why we love you. You are amazing, man. Duff says, yeah, 4 years ago, I had severe sepsis, spent 13 days in coma. Ooh, wow. That's terrible. Okay. Let's just catch up here. Lax is, my grandfather, Lance, would lance his foot and put birch wood on it, and it would leach the poison out. He was Eskimo and used a lot of old native medicines. Honestly, a lot of alternative medicines can really work. I'm surprised that, with all the technology nowadays, that doctors haven't looked to older style medicines. I mean, there's a lot of people who go through cancer or go through various ailments, and they're spending $500-$600 on one dose of a medicine, let alone additional repeat doses. And I'm not saying all illnesses can be taken care of with with old school holistic medicines, but you know what, sometimes they can. Sometimes those medicines aren't 100%. Sometimes they're more placebo, but there's nothing wrong with having faith in something, with having a little bit of hope, and it goes a long way. I mean, I used to get laryngitis all the time. I would do the old gargling warm water with salt. It was something my grandmother would have me do. And there's like like you get a bee sting, you put some mud on it. A lot of that stuff actually is proven. I mean, years ago you had wizards in medieval times, right? Well, a lot of their medicines was basically apothecary, was just old world, you know native medicines. you know but because they performed these miracles, they were seen as these great mystics. That's wild and savage. My elders tell me to use pine pitch to extract poisons and such for pitch for wound healing. Awesome. Duffman says, been really good with my diet, and my sugar has been great for months. Now that's why I'm surprised I got this infection. You know, even if you could be doing amazing with your blood sugar, amazing with your diet, but like me, my leg isn't because necessarily because of my diabetes. It's because I have very poor circulation on my mom's side of the family. There's bad blood circulation. Now, at one point, my left leg had there's a dark discoloration on my legs. It's called venous something. I forget what the actual term is. But at one point, my skin was so dry and scaly. That was a real issue. But after I got my blood sugar down, I went through the surgery, I started losing weight. It got much better. It's still discolored, but it has more of a natural feel to it. So I mean, there's different things that happens. It might not even be related to your diabetes, could be related to something else going on through your family's lineage. Lax says exactly, Bear. That's what we did. I was raised subsistence by my grandparents for many years. Excuse me. Here, Red willow and birch are the first two main ingredients in aspirin. There you go. Definitely washing your mouth out with hot salt water and baking soda is very good for you. Will kill a cold, sore throat immediately. Definitely. What would soothe force lightning to the face? Um, Not much. Beaver grease, Lack says. You eat it or rub it on, Lack, I'm asking. Well, so guys, again, you see at the bottom of the screen, we have the Ride for Roswell Cure, Scream for the Cure is going to be happening this May 18th. So we're a little over a month away. May 18th is going to be a 10-hour stream from 10 a.m. Eastern until 8 p.m. Eastern at least. It's going to be an open stream hangout. So if you have a channel, you want to come on and promote your channel or whatever content you make, whether it's Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're doing. If you have your own Etsy store, you want to promote it, it's going to be an open stream for that. All the proceeds that we raise, everything is going directly towards Roswell Park. I guarantee that because the only way you're donating is using the link for a Ride for Roswell. As you guys can see in the video description below, there is a link, a donation link for Ride for Roswell. Let me just show you guys right here. So here we go. A little bit of an inception right there. There's my there's the stream page right there. Right there's the link. We're going to click on that. Hold on. I got to change that. Let me fix that. There we go. Remove. Okay. So now, stop sharing. Let's do the whole screen, not just the window, because I'm an idiot. Okay, so you click the link. It's going to take you directly to the donation page. Don't worry about the $100. You can put 30, you can do 50, you can do 10 if you want. There you go. 10 is the default. You're just going to click on that. You can type in your name, or if you want to be anonymous, you do have that option. You can put a little message here, and then you're going to click next, and it's going to take you to the page where you'll fill out your payment information. Once you make your payment, all you got to do is take a screen capture, send it to me at Dave's_dimension on Instagram, message me privately with your donation, and just also provide me your first and last name and your screen name, and you're entered in. $10 enters you in on every wheel that we are doing. Speaking of doing things, well, we have a guest. The Cobweb Collector himself.
What's up, Dave?
What's up?
So you just chilling by yourself, man?
Yeah,
Free time. I was like, oh,
yeah, you know, the Three Stooges. Like I said, I'm hoping to. I have a few guests lined up for the next, well, maybe not next week, but the week after. So I'm going to be slowly, wheeling people in, and just, we're just going to have some, I know everybody's into interviewing people. Like, oh, what was your first toy? Well, I'm not going to ask that necessarily. I mean, some of us, do we really remember what our first toys were? I mean, hell, I didn't buy my first Star Wars toy until 5 or 6 years ago, actually, because there was a long period of time where, well, one, my family couldn't afford stuff, long story short. And me, I pretty much, in high school, when I was like 16, I was already working like 30, 35 hours a week. So I really didn't have much of a childhood in even my teenage years. Like, I didn't start collecting until probably like my mid to late 30s. I got to the point where financially, hey, yeah, that Optimus Prime looks pretty cool. I'm gonna pick him up. My now wife at the time, our first Christmas, boyfriend girlfriend, she got me an Optimus Prime Combiner Wars action figure as a gift. So she fully supports the collecting, and of course she's got her own collection now. So sometimes that's the thing. Some of us are going for the toys that we had as kids, and some of us are going for the toys we wish we had when we were kids.
That's what I was about to ask. Are you kind of falling in love with figures later on in life then?
Yeah. I got my Star Wars collection right here.
Yeah, when I got into collecting, Star Wars was like my thing when I was younger, probably like 16, 17 when I started working. I had a bunch of Star Wars, and then collecting fell out once I had kids, and I just recently just started back up like 2020.
Well, we got married late in life, so kids are not exactly on the board. But we have 3 cats. We have 3 cats.
I got a full-grown adult now.
Well, me, I was that person where like I was always careful. Let's just say.
Not here.
I mean, when I was in high school, I knew people freshman year who are having kids.
Yeah,
that's a quick deterrent.
You're still a kid. Yeah,
that to me that was a quick deterrent. And secondly, when I was 9 and 10, that's when my mom met my dad. Met my dad, who was really my stepfather, but he's the only person I ever called dad. You know, and they had my brothers. Well, I was babysitting my brothers at 9 and 10 years old, changing diapers, heating up the milk bottle, feeding them, and babysitting them. So that got a lot of it out of my system. When you're babysitting, when you're like 11 and 12, you're like, yeah. I mean, the way I got out of babysitting when I was a teenager was I got myself a job. That's how I got out of babysitting. Well, I got to go to work now. And my first job was I worked at my church's bingo hall kitchen 2 nights a week. But other than that, when I was 16, I started working at a roller skating rink. So that was a fun ass job. Because if a girl falls down, well, it's your job to help pick her up. Right? And then I wound up being a DJ there. So then if a cute girl wants a song played, well, you know.
Yeah, it does sound like a pretty awesome gig. Yeah, you're good.
Like, oh, you want that song played?
Mm-hmm.
You know. But yeah, those were good times. But you got a nice little collection there. You got a lot of Motu, looks like.
Yeah, when you're just talking about being a kid and not remembering your first toy. I'm not exactly sure of my first toys, but looking back, He-Man, Master Universe was my first love. I remember what I had everything of and collected when I was like real little.
Oh, by the way, LAC, just for clarification, it was DJ Leap. LEAP, DJ Leap.
There's just Motu everywhere for me.
I only had two Motu action figures as a kid because, again, my family didn't have much. So, if you went to church and they gave you for this, the unfortunate families usually got like a mystery gift. I got Cyclone, and yep, I had him. Yep. Except he didn't have the the circle.
Yeah, this is that Mattel Creations that Further Origins just came out.
Okay. I had him and I had Beastman. Those were the two I had. But yeah, I mean, those are the two I had back in the day. Now let me ask you, since you are into Motu, are you jumping on the TMNT Motu?
Yeah, I got a whole shelf of them over here too.
Really? I'm like,
I have everything coming out from the Origins. I have like 99.9% of the line. I'm missing one exclusive. The first exclusive we came out a 2-pack of figures. Then like Masterverse, my whole show here, I have 100% everything Masterverse.
How do you feel about Revelations?
Revolution. I didn't mind Revelation, the first part, as much as I think everybody else did. I did have my little nitpicks, and a lot of mine was voice acting. I didn't care for the big name, like Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila. I couldn't stand the voice more than actually the character. And like Alicia Silverstone.
She sounded a bit whiny.
Yeah, her voice was just off to me. And that's what, for me, made the character whiny was the voice more. So when they changed him up for Revolution.
Yeah. Revolutions, they went with Melissa Benoist, a.k.a. Supergirl from CW. And to me, obviously, favors were called in. Favors were called in for 2 reasons. One, Kevin Smith was behind the whole production, obviously, and he directed several of the CW Arrowverse shows. So there's that connection
there, but Prince Adam, aka He-Man, was played by, oh God, what's his name? Something Woods. I'm
Wood.
blanking on his
I
first
can't think
name.
of his first name either. Wood.
But that's Melissa Benoist's husband.
Or husband,
that's, yeah. That's they met on the Supergirl show. So, obviously some favors were called in, but I think she did a great job as season 2 Teela. I was a little shocked. I was shocked at Shatner though. I was like, Shatner in Eternia? I'm like, okay, and he happens to be the alter ego, split personality. We got Two-Face. We got a Two-Face going on with him and Mark Hamill.
So much speculation of, I know, being both of Mark Hamill and him. Yeah.
How much more diverse can you get? And honestly, they both voiced some pretty cool Batman villains back in the day. Of course, Hamill was Joker in Batman the Animated Series, but they did before Adam West passed away. Adam West voiced one more animated movie. It was done in the Batman 60s genre, in that form of anime, or that that kind of universe. And Shatner was Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, maybe they kind of looked at it like, hey, yeah, let's bring Shatner in. But I thought it was an interesting choice. I'm shocked Shatner even did it. But he said, hey, it was probably a good paycheck with Netflix, so why not? But my thing was, Hamill just sounded too much like Joker.
Yeah, I mean, it's... oh, shoot. I got so many toys up here. My little area.
Take care, Beardy.
Take
care, Beardy. He's popping off.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff here too. I got my Super 7s.
Yeah, I'm just all over the drop. You're asking about the Turtles of Grayskull. I souped up my shredder for Turtle of Grayskull, threw on some Triple H armor on him. I think you're kind of a wrestling fan, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You play the game. See, yeah, you need some Lemmy now in the background.
Right? Yeah. He was just showing off Lemmy, huh?
Ready to play the game.
Yeah, you got random stuff everywhere. Just picked up that Doink.
Doink?
This Doink is amazing. I love that face. I don't know how well
do they have a Dink, though?
I know. That's made me a little accessory pack of Dinks. Or even all three of them. The Doink, Dink, Wink, and Pink.
There you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
These are one of the mystery packs that they're doing. Of the Mini Puffs and Slimer. It's actually pretty good. Nicely done. I mean, for $7-8, it's not bad.
Like the little chocolate under the eyes.
Oh yeah. Well, we have the codes, like the actual legend key. Like, okay, you look at the letter on the box, this one is actually that one. So
yeah,
I kind of cheated with that. So, but like
better than guessing over and over again.
Yeah, but like that Shredder looks actually badass though with the armor on it though.
Yeah, I love the way he came around. Like almost that Super Shredder look to him now.
Yeah.
I gave away my second Triple H, and I wish I would have kept him.
Well, yeah, wrestling's kind of making a big comeback right now with storylines.
I know. I've been into wrestling for years. I mean, I probably dropped off.
I trust me, I dropped off
right before 2010.
7 or 8 years ago. I kind of dropped off. I started getting into it. Like, I don't watch it religiously every week because, I really can't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have cable. I don't have cable. So, everything I watch is pretty much streaming.
Same here. My TV went out a couple months ago, and I haven't even got a new one because I'm like, I just don't even know how to use it.
I was working for Spectrum for 9 years, so I had free TV service.
I'm mad at Spectrum.
Oh, well, I don't work for them anymore, so.
Oh, no, it wouldn't matter. You're good.
Screw Spectrum. What? I'm paying for the internet, and it's just, it is what it is. But, I mean, like, most of the time, I'm watching a lot of stuff on YouTube. I mean, literally, a lot of stuff I watch on YouTube, or I have 2 monitors here, so I'll watch something here, and I'll have, like, something on Netflix in the background, So, but, hold on. Hello. There we go. been having some mic issues with my Yeti. But yeah, I guess like was it next year or the year after? Netflix is supposed to be carrying all the WWE shows.
Oh yeah, I think I heard something about that.
So maybe I will start watching Raw again because we try and watch Raw with those links that might last for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then you got to switch to another stream and another stream and another stream.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I usually watch like the big ones, like the big pay-per-views, which are obviously on Peacock because I pay for Peacock because there's a lot of shows on there my wife likes. So so like yeah, Dre just chimed in. He says January 2025. But I kind of like how once now that McMahon is kind of out, Vince McMahon is gone. Ding dong, the dick is dead. Well, not really dead, but just out of wrestling completely. Now that they're WWE merged with, was it TKO, I think it's called. So I mean, it seems like they finally have the proper creative going on. Triple H, I mean, he's a wrestler. He knew how bad it was growing, coming up in the ranks, and he's appreciating all the younger wrestlers.
There you go, Dre. Dre said somebody needs to make Cody as a Moti character. Everybody said this figure looks like Cody Rhodes.
So you got to draw the little, Eternian Nightmare. There you go. So American Nightmare, get a little Eternian Nightmare. There you go. Yeah, he kind of has a little Cody going on. Yeah, Dre says this is the Triple H era. I mean, it's it seems like everybody's like I said, add the neck tattoo. Yeah, it seems like they're kind of getting back to the. I mean, I watched WrestleMania. I don't know if you did.
I got invited to come watch it, and I didn't. I don't know. I had car problems this weekend. I just got my car fixed. And got it back today,
it's 2 nights now. When I stopped watching, it was just one night. So
I thought about it, but it was also like a party where everybody's drinking, and I've turned to the sober life, and I'm not that comfortable being around a bunch of people drinking.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean,
it's a little hard for me.
Quick story. My biological father was a drunk. So for years and years, I was afraid of taking a drink. And then one day, my grandmother says to me, she says, I never see you have a drink with your cousins. And I told her straight out, I said, I don't want to become like him. Okay. She knew who I was talking about. And she said, you know what? You have too straight a head on your shoulder for that to ever happen. And it kind of clicked in my head. And one time I was out with some friends, decided to have a drink, but I'm one of those, I'm a sipper. I don't just down a drink. I'm a sipper. But also, I'm a bigger guy. So, it takes a while for anything to even hit my system, if it even does. But even now, it's like I might have a drink once or twice a year, and I'm just a sipper. I'm the sober guy in the background, recording everyone being idiots when they are just blasted. And like my one buddy, it was New Year's. We all went to karaoke. His poor wife was like, "Oh, Jay's already passed out." I'm like, kind of figured. He was puking in the car. He's just like sleeping it off in the car. The rest of us are in this like little bar doing karaoke, having a blast. But it's like I know people who they overindulge, and a lot of times you can miss out on things. Sometimes things happen, but like I tell people, you don't have to drink to have a great time. You can have a great time just be with awesome people. Just having whether it's water, ginger ale, Pepsi, whatever your thing is. I used to make a joke. I'm Irish and Polish. I get drunk on root beer.
See, I was horrible. I started out with my party years and drank too much and always wanted to party, and it turned into just years and years of such heavy drinking. Like I can't even explain how much I used to drink. Like especially for a guy my size, it's unbelievable. and
I've seen.
Told I was gonna die and almost died many times, and like I'm lucky to be here.
I didn't have my first drink until I was 24. Like that's how I was kind of like when I was growing up, I was kind of that mindset where like, what's the best way of putting it? I was kind of like, I had to make sure everyone else was taken care of first. You know, my one friend used to say I was the last Boy Scout. You know, I was the nice guy that, you know, finishes last, you know, that kind of a thing. Like, and, you know, sometimes you got to get to a point where, you know, you can, you know, focus on your life once in a while. You can have a little bit of fun, but doing it in moderation, just like everything else. So
there was none of that for me.
So there's, you know, I get it. Like if you were, you know, like you said, you were a drinker, you were a partier, and you just want to make sure you're not going to be in that situation where you might possibly fall into old habits. I get that.
Yeah.
Too.
And this is the first time because I had tried to quit drinking multiple times. When I think my longest was like 8 months or so, and wasn't until just this last time. It's in February. I just celebrated 4 years. So
okay,
I'm at the point now where I don't. I mean, I'm around family and stuff that drinks, but it's gone for me now, and I don't think anything can really take me back to it. I'm just so over it.
Dre says he drinks water, green tea, and orange juice, but not at once.
Yeah, I was gonna say at the same time. No, I got you one second. I left my phone over here and it keeps beeping. I'm gonna go grab it.
I thought maybe your table was ready at Ruby Tuesdays or something.
Right.
Smirking Bear saying he had. Oh, meanwhile he had some Irish coffee this morning. Nothing wrong. See, if I just drink coffee, that's automatically Irish coffee because I'm Irish and Polish. So there you go. And by the way, some of the worst, I'll say this to the chat, Smirking Beer, you want to talk about Irish coffee? Find some Polish people around Dingus Day. That is the worst beer ever. You get the Polish beer around Dingus Day, the worst ever. It's just, it's worse than the worst light beer you could ever imagine. It's hello. Hold up.
Yeah, coffee. I think I'm a little too hardcore on the coffee too since I started drinking coffee.
There we go. My mic is going in and out. I'm not a coffee drinker. Coffee has the polar opposite effect on me. It relaxes me. Like you give me a cappuccino, and I'm just very mellow. I'm wired backwards. What can I say? Dre says, coffee is godly. Well, it depends who your God is. Is it like me? But yeah, and again, hold on. Okay. Jesus Christ. That's what happens when you don't look at your phone for 2 hours. You get a bunch of messages I have to go through, and after I'm done here.
It was a couple minutes just since I've been here. I was like, where did I leave my phone at? It's over on my bed still, and it's been going off like crazy.
Yeah, I only have about maybe 50 different messages to go through and notifications. Like at my job, I work for an HVAC company, and the person who is supposed to be training me and supervising me, like, this is an older person. Let's just say a couple of generations beyond us, right? Was like, geez, you get so many notifications. I'm sorry, I have friends. I'm on multiple apps. I mean, she doesn't need. I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. I'm like, I'm not going to. You don't need to know all my business. I'm like, I'm sorry if I get notifications, so I just mute everything now. It's like, calm down.
Something about dude put on my do not disturb. Somebody's asking me where I'm at. I'm going to send them a link to this.
Well, we're going to be wrapping up very shortly.
All right.
It's
yeah, I figured
we've been on for 2 hours. But I definitely would love to have you come on in the future because, like I said, I'm looking for guests. And just want to talk about, like we were just talking, we were talking about toys for a moment, but then we were talking about just life in general.
And I interrupted your talk about your your
No, I
donation
wrap
thing.
up the ride for
I'm living
Roswell,
proof of those.
Mythics.
I won these from you guys last time. I just finally got to doing a video last night.
Well,
and these guys are amazing. I love these two dudes.
well, Dre is procuring us another box from Mythic Legions with some surprises.
Oh man.
Okay, so I mean, I'm
I
just
feel
saying.
right if I won twice. Even winning those, like I was like, oh my gosh, I don't freaking.
I mean, we'll see. Here's the thing: the last couple of years, we've had a lot of people join, a lot of people participate. This year, we only have a handful. And like I tell people, whether it's $5 we raise or $500 we raise, whatever amount it is, that's that amount more for Roswell. So, I mean, hey, if we only get 5 or 6 people in it, it is what it is. But that means those 5 or 6 people have better chance of getting those 7 boxes that we're giving away. Yeah, he's waiting to hear back from Walter. Do you know who Walter is?
Me?
Walter from do you know who Walter is? Walter is with Mythic Legions.
Yeah, actually, because that's when I did my thank you on post, I was asking Dre who to thank, and then he runs the IG Mythic Legions, right? Because when I typed his name and something, Mythic Legion popped up, and
there's a little bit of talk of maybe an autograph.
Yeah, that Walter Hagen. Yeah, I remember that name from when I was thanking people on IG.
Yeah, so the Mythic Legions box we're working on might include an autograph or two. So could you imagine if someone got an autographed Mythic Legion figure? Just saying.
Yeah, and man, I got those right when I was kind of getting into them. I got it's funny because I have some friends that have been trying to get me into Mythic Legions or had been before then, and Carol, she's been on in Dre's chat with me a lot. She got me 4 of the Motu tribute ones because I'm all into Motu and everything. So those were my first mythics I got, were the 4 of them she bought for me. And so all my friends were like, oh yeah, I'm finally getting you into mythics. And then next thing I know, I won those five figures from you guys. And they're like, oh man,
you're in now, boy.
You're in now and you haven't even spent a penny yet. I ended up with 9 figures. So I've actually bought my own. I bought a couple.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, I know some people get into mythics and they might pop back out. I have a couple mythics because they're gifted to me by Dre. Dre's been shifting some of his collections, and that's the thing. A lot of us do. Like, I was buying Marvel Legends and Black Series. I stopped my Black Series. I pumped the brakes on that. I haven't bought a McFarlane figure since last year. I mean, right now it's G.I. Joe, Super 7 Power Rangers, because apparently they're not doing Lightning Collection anymore. Because I was always a Power Ranger fan. But I've been finding the Super 7 Ultimates on sale lately. I have been, I do love my Spider-Man, though. I got the 3 from Far From Home, or from No Way Home. So I'm happy I got that. But like, a lot of my collecting, I think, is going to change, especially once I get my printer in, because there's a lot of props I want to print. And plus, technically, when this channel started, my very first video was an unbox of a Samsung monitor, which I technically still have over here. I use as my email style monitor, and I did my props, like, taking the Spirit Halloween Proton Pack and modifying it to make it look like it was Back to the Future and Ghostbusters in one. Some of that stuff was like, I like building and I kind of miss building. And once I get the 3D printer, I'm going to be able to, my wife, she's got a laundry list of props she wants me to make, and I have stuff I want to make up. And, I also had somebody reach out and ask me, do you think you can 3D print my logo? I'm like, I don't know how to do that, but I guess I could learn. That would be something cool to do. Like, someone says, well, hey, I think it'd be cool if I had like a 3D representation of my logo, like on a shelf behind me. I'm like, I don't know how to do that, but I'm sure it can be learned. Like, I'm sure there's videos on how to take like a, like if I took my Dave's Dimension logo and I wanted to print it out like a coin, I'm sure there's a way to do that. Do I know how to do it? No, but I'm sure someone out there is eventually going to make a program that takes a 3D image and with some kind of AI assistance and figures out how to do it. So I mean, hey,
I've
anything's
thought about
possible.
getting a 3D printer and doing that, but man, I'd have to learn a lot. My technology level is very low, so it seems
Well, like
overwhelming to me.
One of the problems I had trouble with the leveling of the bed because on some of the older printers you had 4 dials underneath the bed for each corner because you have to perfectly, you have to level it. Like think of like someone who is trying to balance a board on top of a ball, right? You have to get your weight perfectly so the board is nice and flat, right? That's kind of the same thing with a printer, but my hand and eye coordination is completely messed up. You can't tell. I'm only seeing through one eye. I had eye surgery when I was a baby. I was cross-eyed. They did separation surgery. My left eye is a stronger one. Unless I close it, then I can see partially through my right eye. But it's basically lazy without the lazy. So I can see through, it looks like my eyes are perfectly fine. You can see them moving around. But you don't see that kind of drifting. So my hand and eye coordination is pretty messed up where, you know how most people, when they write, they might write like this, right? I can't write that way. If I write that way, it looks like nothing against anyone who might have had a stroke, but it looks like a stroke patient. My letters are all just terrible. The only way I can write normal is like this. Because my hand and eye coordination is just, so my coordination's a bit different. They, as a kid, they told my mom, he'll never ride a bike, he'll never do this, he'll never do that. I rode 44 miles last year. I think, I'm one of those people, you tell me I can't do something, guess what?
Those doctors don't know everything. I've talked about it before. I think in my interview with Dre too, like my oldest son, he's autistic and found out by like when he's about 4 or 5 and he wasn't talking and was in diapers still. And they told us he'll never be able to talk. He'll be in diapers his whole life.
I didn't say a word until I was 2.
And he completely 180 from that now. And he is just such a character.
He won't shut up now, right?
Yeah. He does his own YouTube now. He's
awesome.
He's just amazing. He's completely 180 from that. Cause from what they told me,
how old is he now?
He's about to turn 20.
Okay.
I got an older one.
Well, when we have you on, what I've been telling people is anyone who wants to come on, send me your logo, any links you have for any of your social media, we'll share that. When you come on, send me not only your stuff, but your son's stuff, and we'll promote his channel as well.
All right, yeah.
Because
he's the one who got me going and showed me how to edit and just kind of little things here and there. So,
I mean, a lot of people don't know I had speech therapy for years, from pre-K to 6th grade. I would stutter every word. I would say "t" instead of "the." I would say "sip" instead of "ship." And literally everything I would say, I would just stutter. I had that. The hand and eye coordination issues. I had so many problems growing up as a kid. I used to say I had more problems than a small. Oh. Hello?
Are you there?
I think I might be switching microphones.
Yeah, when you after you muted that first time, it was kind of muffled in and out.
Yeah, I think I'll be breaking out my fine after the stream.
There you go.
Sometimes Yeti isn't the best. I'm just saying, guys. It's a thing. But no, I used to say I had more problems in a small country. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can have issues. You can overcome just about anything. That's one of the reasons why I love Back to the Future. Doc is always saying, hey, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything, So, but yeah, that's But yeah, I want to get back into prop building, and I mean, this time I'll actually be 3D printing, so a lot of sanding. I do have a little handheld airbrush that's rechargeable, but I think I want to get like a real airbrush. One, not right away, probably like a year from now when I get things really down. Because when I paint anything, it's usually me with some with some Rust-Oleum spray cans like you get at Walmart. The ones that bonds in plastic, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
I mean, my Spirit Halloween pack was painted it silver, and everything I did was like just random stuff I looked at Amazon. If on the front of the DeLorean you get that bumper, right, with the that lights up blue. They call it a flux bar. What I did was I took 2 old oxygen hoses I had, because I'm an asthmatic. I have a nebulizer machine, so I had some old hoses that were bad. So what I did was I took them. I took some, like the wire you use for for soldering. I bent that, put it inside a tube. I painted the tube silver. Used some super glue, a little bit of epoxy. Put that on the front of the proton pack. Took a little bit of screen mesh so it looked like the front of the bumper. But I had an LED light underneath it, so it actually lit up blue. I just took like little things laying around, just let my imagination go crazy, and just if you whatever you can think of.
Yeah, I used to do a lot like that when I was younger too. Like when I had when I collected when I was younger, like when I said 17, 18, I did all my own dioramas and everything, and that's something I haven't gotten to again yet since I started collecting. I like to do like diorama pieces and stuff, but as of right now, my action figures, I just have so much stuff everywhere, and I got like being Motu. I just got that Eternia.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was going to be huge.
Where are you going to put
that thing in person? It is so freaking giant. I'm like, I still don't even know what to do with that. I'm moving it back and forth every time I record. Yeah, take it off the table and put it over here, or put it in my kid's room. It's just, I don't know what to do with myself lately. There's just stuff everywhere.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's it's the stuff we love. I mean, like here, let me pull this.
I bought this shelf and I just filled it up so damn quick. I'm like, I need like 2 of these behind me because these are just packed to the edge with figures, all the shelves up and down.
Like this is a ghost trap. A couple years ago, Walmart was selling these for like $25.
Mm-hmm.
It had a small pedal. I cut the pedal off and I ran a wire to. This is a safety pedal like you buy on Amazon, like for like machine shops.
Okay, yeah.
I just painted it. I weathered it. I ran an extra long wire to it, and I bought a kit from there's a seller on eBay called SpongeFace, also known as Ghost Labs 42. Does a lot of Ghostbuster stuff, and this is basically a glorified Spirit Halloween ghost trap with a working pedal. So I mean, this is just all plastic, and this is just a safety thing. It's just I mean, props. I mean, you can tell whatever story you want with your props. Like, let's see here. Let me find something real quick. Like,
yeah, people build stuff like that, and stormtrooper outfits and all that. I mean, I just give it up to them to.
This is a Spirit Halloween. This is a Spirit Halloween proton pack that I heavily painted and modified to look like the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people just use those ones and have modified them.
I mean, a bunch of painter's tape and spray paint and some hand paint, and that's what I did with it.
That's awesome.
I mean, took a couple tries, just like everything. But there's a lot of stuff, like obviously my figures. And this is why I never bought the HasLab or the Hasbro selfie series, because that looks nothing like me. That looks more like a young Tim Allen.
Oh yeah, the selfies.
That looks nothing like me, so yeah, that wasn't happening. Trying to see if I can find it. Yeah, my wife's coworker printed her Star-Lord's orb, but I painted it and just, we did some modifications to it. He had 3D printed the blasters, so I had to assemble some of the pieces and do some painting for them. So,
What are those badges you got going for? Is that IG?
what?
Like that 80,000, those badges, or what are those for?
That's YouTube.
Okay, I've seen a few of those.
Yeah.
It's for YouTube. What is it for?
Well, 80. That's 80,000 views. Because there's some apps like TubeBuddy and a few others that will actually track your progress.
Oh, okay.
So that's where that comes from.
I just see a few of those when you're going through. I was like, dang, those look like some big numbers. I was wondering what they're for.
Well, trust me, I tell everyone when I started, I didn't think I would hit 100, let alone where I'm at right now. So it's just beyond crazy.
Yeah, I mean, for me too. I mean, you know me pretty much since I started up. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I freaking got where I'm at either.
Now,
I'm in
this
shock
is
still.
before my surgery. I was probably about 460 at the time, maybe. You can see the extra chin right there. Got my little Peter Griffin vibe going on. And that was me after the surgery. In the same suit. Lost a lot there. I gained a few of it back, but I'm trying to get it back off again. But yeah, here's my full scale proton pack, not the HasLab, but then there's my Spirit. I actually sold the Spirit. I sold the Spirits. I don't have any of the Spirits anymore. Got rid of them to fund the HasLab proton pack. Trying to find the Flux pack. Where are we? Yeah, I was forced to no longer use that logo. I found it online and I was using it, and the person claiming to be the original artist said, "Yeah, I want you to stop that. That's not yours." Yet you can find the patches for this on Etsy and other places. But I'm like, okay, you want me to stop? You say it's yours, okay? I'm going to take you at your word and I'll go with something else. This was my full scale pack when I was building it. I had to paint it. This is what it originally looked like. Black spray paint, but then I covered up certain parts because you have to use bed liner spray to make certain parts of the pack coarse and rough. I mean, I always tell people, I'm like, if I can do this, anybody can. Like I said, the little light bar right on the front. And the side tube, see, they're 80% scale, so they're a little small. So I wanted to add a little bit more size. So I went to Home Depot, bought two like PVC elbows and a clear tube. And I ran LED lights in there, but I used hair gel and filled up the tube. So it looked like slime and it could light up any color because of the LED.
That's cool, yeah.
So that was the temporal slime filter because, you build a prop, but then you have to explain, oh, it's Back to the Future and Ghostbusters. What do? Do you send it back in time? No, you don't. You make the ghost weaker to the point when it first became a ghost, makes it easier to catch. So I had to come up with a whole storyline. But hey, these are my 3 babies. I no longer have them. But this one was my first one. I will always love Back to the Future, and I think I want to rebuild it. But if I'm printing it part by part by part by part, now I can really modify the hell out of it. So that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm a nerd. What can I say? There you go. You can see how small that pack looks on a person. I actually sold it to a collectible shop down south. expensive as hell to ship a pack. Let me just say that, even in the States. But I think it is 20 after 11. I'm going to wrap things up. I want everyone in the chat, I want you guys check out Cobweb Collector. I want to say hello to All Music Fan. Thank you for popping in. All Music Fan 88. Nice Proton Packs. Thank you very much. And yeah, we started around 9 o'clock. This is going to be a weekly stream. Probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to start our regular format where we'll discuss kind of the latest and greatest that's going on.
And what's
and
up
then
to Black
go
Phoenix?
into like an interview hangout session. What was that?
I said and Black Phoenix too. I know they both came together. All Music and Black Phoenix.
There you go. Black Phoenix. There you go.
That's what I said. And I was shooting out where I was, so I got a couple people hopping over.
No, not a problem. But
I keep on a little late.
You guys want to check out more streams, go ahead and hit that red button, hit that bell for notifications. Again, those who might be new to the channel, my channel is a little bit of everything. Nerd, collector, Ghostbusters, movies, 80s, 90s, whatever you name it. The channel where chaos and insanity reign supreme. And of course, the home for tech, toys, and talk. And if you guys notice, we're actually doing a giveaway next month, May 18th. We're doing a 10-hour open stream. So if you have your own YouTube channel and you want to come on and promote it, you have your own small business, you want to come on and promote it, it's going to be an open hangout stream here May 18th from 10 a.m. Eastern until 8 p.m. Eastern. And like I said, we're doing some prize giveaways, but to get in it, you have to donate at least $10. $10 donation to Ride for Roswell. The link is in the video description below. Just go there, click the link, make a $10 donation, send me a screenshot of that donation to Daves_Dimension on Instagram or DavesDimension78@gmail.com, and send me your first name, your first and last name, and your screen name, and you'll be entered in on the wheel. One entry gets you in on all the wheels. Now, Dave, hey, well, $10 sounds cool. Well, if I do 20, can I get my name twice? Yes. For every $10 you donate, your name is entered in on the wheel that many times. So let's say someone dropped 50. Well, their name's going to be on the wheel 5 times, which means, well, that's more chances you have to win. It's an elimination wheel, last person standing. If, let's say, Cobb donates and he has his name on there twice, but he gets eliminated, he still has another chance. It's last person standing. We shuffle up and deal. And it's just going to be a nice, fun, open stream. All the proceeds, you're donating directly to Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute. So I handle no money. It goes directly to the Ride for Roswell. That's why we're asking you to provide me with a screenshot. Send me a screenshot. I know that you entered. That's the proof, and we move forward. It goes directly to Roswell. I've seen a lot of streams, a lot of people do fundraisers, but you never find out what really happens. We're all on this channel. We're all aboard. We like to make sure everyone has a clear understanding on everything. So that's what it is. Every year we do this, and I do the Ride for Roswell, which is an annual bike ride fundraiser every year in June. Last year I did 44 miles. I actually went from Buffalo, New York, downtown Buffalo, across the Peace Bridge into Canada, back through Niagara Falls, Canada, over to Niagara Falls, U.S., and then down to the University of Buffalo in Amherst, New York. So that was 44. That was 44 miles. And it was. Let's see. The thing is, people look at me and they're like, "You did how far?" Like I enjoy bike riding. I used to do it when I was a kid. I was I'm a heavy person. I'm still a big guy. But I got myself a fat tire bike last year. It happens to be an e-bike, but it's a torque sensor, which means you get some people who have an e-bike and they press something and they start going without pedaling. Mine is different. It's a torque sensor. So in order for the pedal assist to kick in, you have to pedal along with it.
I've ridden
So you're still getting the workout, and there's still a resistance level. And by the way, my bike is 70 pounds.
Ooh. You
try carrying that up and down a flight of stairs in an apartment building.
Those fat tires.
No, it's the frame itself, because the battery is pretty damn heavy. Now, I rode it last year because I use it because where I live is called Grand Island. It's right between Buffalo and Niagara Falls. We have very steep hills and bridges. An asthmatic pedaling uphill, that's not a great idea, especially with as steep as our bridges are. So, but no, that thing, it helps me out. Plus, as a safety concern, I told my wife, I said, well, I'm going to get this. And if I ever have an asthma attack, there is a throttle on there, so I can use the throttle, and it can get me to like an urgent care, or I can get to a hospital or something. So it's kind of like, it's got I was totally against e-bikes for years, but this bike, I can ride it on sand, I can ride it through snow, I can ride it on soft dirt, I can ride it anywhere. Literally, this is the bike where you don't need the roads. So I love
where
the
we're
bike.
going. We don't need roads.
Where we're going, we don't need roads, exactly. But no, that bike, I rode it last year, and I still, even with I was using pedal assist one on it, and I did 44 miles in like maybe three and a half hours, and I still had like another 7 or 8% power left on the battery. It's a nice fun ride though. I will say this, like if you're an older person, or if you're someone that has some physical resistance, some physical issues, it gets you back out there. It gets you on the road. It gets you doing stuff with the family. There's a lot of older people. I have a friend who has a physical disability. I forget specifically what it is, but she's usually relegated to walking with a walker. Well, she got herself a trike e-bike, and she's back out on the path doing like 20, 25 mile bike rides. I'm so happy that her and her husband they're back out there doing stuff together, getting out of the house. I mean, it's a game changer for a lot of people, And by the way, if anyone wants to see my ride last year, you can go to my channel and just type in "Ride for Roswell," and you can actually pull up my ride from last year. Because what I did was I actually recorded it using my phone. I recorded it so that you guys could kind of see me going over the Peace Bridge, the border, and then riding along Canada. Then me going by the actual falls themselves. Stopped for a minute to check out the falls. And what's fun is, technically speaking, like literally, on a good weather day, I can get to the actual falls in like 20 minutes. That's how close I live.
Yeah, that's cool.
Grand Island is right there by the falls, but you do have to watch out for all the tourists. But it's a nice fun ride. Me and my wife, we get out to do different rides all the time. Last year she did. I think she signed up for the 30 mile. I think she's going to go back down to 20. Her bike is just a regular bike, but she was also a marshal last year. So if someone breaks down, hurts themselves first aid, that's what she does. The marshals are riders and fundraisers themselves, but they also have first aid kits and tools to help people if they break down, or they fall off their bike, scrape their leg. So she was constantly stopping there and helping people with that. So yeah, I mean, it's just a great time. You see people all walks of life, a lot of cancer survivors. Because right in the beginning of each time, because they had, like me, I'll be starting at 7 a.m. They will announce how much they raised last year and what they raised this year. And they also then ask anyone who's a survivor or anyone who is in remission to raise their hands. And you think it might be 5 people, but it winds up being like 20 or 25 people around you. So you actually get to see people that you're helping. And for me this year, I have a cousin battling cancer. So it's, this is now another reason for me to do this. I mean, my mom had skin cancer. It wasn't fatal. She died because of other issues. She had a heart attack, basically coronary. My father, he passed away, but he had a lot of ailments, but we found out he was hiding cancer. My wife has so many people in her family who passed away from cancer. So for us, it's personal. And now this year,
I was telling you the other day.
Yeah. I mean, this year I have a family member who's diagnosed with stage 4, who's the same age as I am, who's practically, I mean, I considered her a sister growing up. So it's like,
I had a friend not too long ago. She was just 33. She's younger
Yeah.
than me. Just took her too. It's just insane.
and the amazing thing was, I mean, I saw a picture of her recently. She looks like she's doing great. And last time I spoke to her, she told me, she's like, they are so great at Roswell. You know, they make you feel like it's a second home. I'm like, this is the kind of stuff you want to hear. You want to hear that it's not just some clinical thing, you know, that they're just pricking and prodding, that, you know, they're making you feel like a person, and they're trying to keep your spirits up as best as possible given the situation. So personally, I'm hoping that she's stubborn enough to beat it. And it's another reason to keep going and keep doing this. I mean, my wife's been doing this for 9 years, the ride. And this is my 4th year now, because I did 10 one year. Technically, I signed up for 10, wound up doing 20. Then I did 30 the next year. And those were on regular bicycles, by the way. Last year, I did the 44 mile on my e-bike. And I'm hoping to do the 44 mile again this year. For the international one, they do ask that you raise a certain amount of money so that they can pay for the permits to allow you to travel internationally. That's why. But if I don't raise the amount that they require, then I'll be doing the 45 country route. It's more further out into the country, more rural, but it's 44 miles, and I'll do that one instead. Either way, it's a fun ride. You get to talk with people, you hear some of their stories, and it's just an amazing cause. So. Well, I think I talked plenty. It's now 11:30. Do you know your children?
Yeah, it's about dinner time for me too.
Yep. Well, dinner. Okay.
Well, it's 8:30 here. Late dinner for me. Yeah. Where are you at, Dave? I'm not even sure I know.
East Coast. I'm in Grand Island, New York. So just
I figured New York.
20 minutes from Buffalo.
So we're as far away from each other as we can be. I'm over Southern California.
6 or 7 hours away from New York City. Everyone keeps thinking, "Oh, you must be close to New York City." No, not really. It's the other end of the state.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's like, "Oh, so you're close to LA?" I'm like, "No, not really. Just Southern California."
I mean, I'll be in New York on June 8th for Ghostbusters Day, because the Buffalo Ghostbusters, which I'm a part of, we do an annual event every year for Hook and Ladder 8. It's a fundraiser for them, because a lot of people forget it's a functional firehouse. Hook and Ladder 8 is a functional firehouse.
Zombie Hunter, 1:30 p.m. Wednesday afternoon here.
Yeah, he's in the future, man. He's a time traveler, in case people didn't realize. But I know I've been talking about my channel, been talking about Ride for Roswell, but I would be remiss if I did not mention my brothers and sisters in the Buffalo Ghostbusters. Buffalo Ghostbusters is charity, is a fully recognized 501c3 group. We do fundraising throughout the entire year, mostly for Toys for Tots, but we also do other charities, Alzheimer's walks, of course, Hook and Ladder 8, any charity around the Western New York region. But we do things all throughout the entire state. There is no charity that we will not help. If you want to follow us, please go to our link tree, or you can go to buffaloghostbusters.com. Linktree, of course, just go to Linktree Buffalo Ghostbusters, or Twitter Buffalo G Busters, and the same on Instagram, Buffalo G Busters. Go ahead and follow us, and please help support the causes that we support. Literally, we're just big kids with bigger toys now. We always wanted to run around with proton packs. Now we do it full time. Well, not full time, but in our spare time. Well, yeah, it's a great cause. And we're just an awesome group we're actually grown to, I think, 15 people now. And we have about 2 or 3 ectos right now in our fleets. And we organize the fundraiser at Hook and Ladder 8 every year, and all the proceeds goes to the firehouse itself, to the men and women there. I mean, they're the ones that put their lives on the line. A lot of people just think it's the building from the movies, but no, they've given a lot. They lost several members during 9/11. So it's a great cause, and it's a free event. Hook and Ladder 8 Ghostbusters Day. It's a free event. You come down, you meet Ghostbuster fans from all over the world. We had people from South America, Italy last year. I think we have teams from Germany and the UK coming this year. So it's always a great blast. It's nice, fun, family free event. You know, I shouldn't say family free. It's a family event, but that doesn't cost you not a single dime. Just come down and hang out. It's just a great blast, and also a lot of surprises. So thank Cobweb Collector for popping in the chats, coming through the stream, hanging out with me. I want to thank everyone who, I mean, there's too many people to name. Smirking Bear, Dre, Zombie Hunter, Gilster, All Music Fan 88. I love the All Music Fan 88 because, well, Back to the Future, come on. I want to thank everyone for coming through. Black Phoenix, Smirking Bear, Gilster, Lax Sivrak, Ricardo. I missed Ricardo. I'm sorry, Ricardo. Duffman's Diorama, Beardy McBeardison. I mean, we have so many people that came through tonight. Thank you guys. This is going to be a regular thing every Tuesday night, either at 8 or 9, depending on time zones and availability of people. Some guests, we may record their interviews ahead of time. You know, not recorded in front of the live studio audience. But I want to thank everyone for coming through. Let's just see. What's that? Zombie Hunter says, hey, Dave, I know of the 501st Star Wars, but do Ghostbusters have like a special division? We don't have a declared division. We have franchises. Just like Bill Murray said in the first movie, the franchise rights alone will make us rich beyond the wildest dreams. So Ghostbusters, instead of squads like the 501st and whatnot, and that's where 501st comes from, is 501st C3 being fully recognized, by the IRS and everything for charities. We are, there's different franchises. There's the Buffalo Ghostbusters. There are hundreds of Ghostbuster franchises across the country. Some states have 4 or 5 franchises. Some cities have more than one. They're just cosplay groups that are dedicated to fundraising, charities. During the pandemic, we actually did birthday parades. So if someone wanted their kid loves Ghostbusters, or their grandmother, that's a true story, 99-year-old who was a big Ghostbusters fan, wanted us to drive past the house for the birthday. So we did that. We've shown up at birthday parties for like 40-somethings. Who doesn't love Ghostbusters? I mean, come on. Have you ever met someone who said, I hate Ghostbusters? So yeah, we are franchises. We don't have squads. We're just simply franchises. And just like you guys probably have, well, you haven't seen this. Some of you have, but each franchise has their own patch.
Like
Buffalo Ghostbusters, that's us holding a chicken wing. We're Buffalo. What else are we going to hold, right? There you go. And that's the patch. We actually sell that patch. And again, all the proceeds goes towards Toys for Tots. That's our main goal every year, but we do other charities throughout the year. But again, please go ahead and check out the BuffaloGhostbusters.com for all of our links. Of course, the Ride for Roswell, Stream for the Cure, all that good stuff, guys. You know what time it is. It's time to go. I need to get off because I keep talking because I'm rambling.
You're good.
But thank you, Cowboy, for coming on. And everyone, I will catch you next time. And you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. Keep on busting. And I'm always going to catch you on the flip side. Take care, guys.
There, everybody.